Girl slowly accepted him. At night, she would lean against him to sleep, something she used to do only with her mom. Now, when a man sneaked into a girl's house to collect a debt. But strangely, the girl acted like she didn't see him, just clutching a piece of moldy bread and retreating to a corner to eat. The man ignored her and kept searching around, but after combing through the entire place, he found nothing. In a harsh tone, he asked where she had hidden all the valuable things, but the girl gave no response at all. After several rounds of questioning and testing, he finally realized the girl was deaf and blind, a person with both visual and hearing impairments. For a moment he softened, unsure whether to keep searching, because the girl's mom owed him a lot of money and had been killed in an accident at work. As the acting team leader, the man had gone to the hospital to visit her, but unexpectedly found that the woman was already a cold corpse. Since no relatives of the deceased could be found, the police gave the man the mom's belongings. He felt incredibly frustrated, not knowing how to recover the debt, so he followed the address to her home, hoping to find something valuable to cover the debt. But after searching, he came up empty-handed. He had no choice but to pin his hopes on the girl's dad. After learning of his wife's death, the man didn't show an ounce of grief. Instead, he cursed him out and said they had divorced long ago, then hung up. The man stood on the balcony smoking in frustration. The girl smelled the familiar cigarette smoke and thought her mom had come back. She pounded hard on the floor to signal her mom to hurry over. Confused, the man leaned closer, and the girl threw herself into his arms. Only when she touched his face did she suddenly realize he wasn't her mom. She immediately screamed in terror. The scream quickly drew the landlord's attention. To avoid complications, the man had to open the door to the female landlord outside. But before he could explain, the landlord assumed he was the girl's father and scolded him with the nastiest words, saying he was a terrible dad and urged him to pay next month's rent soon. Otherwise, at the end of the month she'd return his deposit and make him move out with the girl. Hearing there was still a deposit to get back, the man instantly saw hope. He played along and said he was the girl's father, promising to move out the following month. Seeing that the landlord didn't suspect anything, he felt secretly pleased, thinking the deposit was as good as his. Unexpectedly, when he got back to his place, his luggage had already been thrown out because he couldn't afford to renew the lease. His first thought was to temporarily stay at the girl's house until he got the deposit in a month, then find a new place to rent. The girl felt the leather shoes by the door and knew they weren't her mom's. It meant that man was back again. Terrified, she grabbed a piece of bread and hid in the corner to eat. Perhaps out of pity, the man ordered 2 servings of jajang noodles and handed one to the girl. Smelling the aroma, the girl swallowed hard many times, but in the end didn't take a single bite. In her mind, this man was still dangerous. To ease the girl's fears, he deliberately hid the shoes by the door so she'd think he'd left, then threw away all the moldy bread. But when the girl couldn't find bread on the table, her emotions collapsed and she broke into tears. The man quickly brought the jajang noodles, signaling they were better, but the girl swatted them away. Finally losing patience, he vented his anger in the nastiest words. But seeing the girl cry, he couldn't help but soften and went to buy fresh bread for her. When she smelled the fresh bread, the girl suddenly sensed that maybe the man wasn't so bad. Following the scent of the noodles, she came to him and without ceremony scooped up the noodles with her hands and ate. Though annoyed, the man let her have the noodles and ate bread himself to fill up. From then on, the girl gradually lowered her guard. She believed her mom would be back soon and that this man must have been hired by her mom to take care of her. But unfortunately, the man couldn't do even basic housework, so she called a cleaner. The place was soon spotless and the girl slowly accepted him. At night, she would lean against him to sleep, something she used to do only with her mom. Now, when she